Many people today are thinking that this is the end of the road. That's why I wanted to take this shot. I was way off the beaten path, obviously. This is a road that is no more. Beyond that, about 100 yards is a bridge that's no more. This is a road that was traveled a lot, and now nobody travels this for the most part. It is part of a ranch. There was cattle gates and things like that I passed on the way to get to this point. Much like today, many people are thinking, this is the end of the road. This is the end of the road. We've got this virus. We've got, this could be Armageddon. This could be the second coming. Whatever it is, I want to speak peace and say that God's in control and you don't have anything to worry about. But I want to talk about peace a little bit more in depth in this segment.
So I decided to take that suggestion from the subscriber and say, let's talk about basically end times. But the end times that I want to talk about are the peaceful side of end times. I mean, we've got the news media right now that's trying to do so many things of fear. If you Google or YouTube COVID Karen, these are women that go extremely ballistic on the COVID situation, which actually happened to me too in my own apartment, not in my own apartment, but in my own apartment complex in Los Angeles. It's just crazy what people are doing right now. But what I want to do is I want to speak some peace and some faith into our hearts and our lives, and just a calming thing. One thing that I think of is the scripture. It says, "Peace I leave with you, peace I give unto you. Not as the world gives, peace I leave with you." This world doesn't know anything about peace. One of my questions is, if you don't have peace in your life, why in God's name are you listening to anything that has to do with the news media? I've got several friends. One person, she's always thinking about all these things that are going on. She's watching all these things. She's fretting. She's fearful. She's like, oh my God, this and that. We could get this virus. Yeah, I understand. But there's also other things that you can get in life besides the virus. There's other things to worry about. I mean, there's over 2.5 million car crashes every single year. 2.5 million. That's huge. So does that mean I shouldn't drive my car anymore? I mean, let's put things into perspective and stop watching the news. This is the false prophet I think about. If you look in Revelations, there's a false prophet that comes up. Who is that? Who is that person? I think it's the news media, personally. I mean, I might be wrong. You got your opinion, I got mine. But if I'm going to have peace in this world, one thing that I determined a long time ago before all this stuff happened, I need to be in a place like this. I need to be in a peaceful place. I need to have this heart be in a peaceful place. How can I do that? It's easy. You center your life around peaceful practices, however that is for you. And if one peaceful practice isn't getting it for you, then you need to discover a new peaceful practice. Just like I talked to you about. But Jesus said that. Peace I leave with you. Calming. Peace. Everything's okay. He says, I got it under control. You don't. I don't. He does. What do I have to worry about? Oh my God, I could die. Yeah, I could die. That's why we need to make our peace with him before we go. Could die at any time. Like I mentioned about the car crashes. You could go any time. Walking across the street in Los Angeles. Very dangerous, by the way. Don't try that in your own city. Just kidding. But, there's so many dangerous things that happen every single day. Or could happen. What are we going to be like Howard Hughes and live our life in a germ-free as possible? Is that the way you want to live your life? I'm not going to live my life that way. If you choose to live your life in fear, that's on you. You're going to be fretting. Another friend of mine, oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, that happened. He's just always fretting, fretting, fretting. And I get, we all do that to some degree. I mean, I get it. But you got to get yourself to the place where you have some peace in this thing. Like my mom would say, buck up, soldier. I mean, this isn't the first time. What did they do back in World War II? Maybe we thought this was going to be the end of America. And if this is the end of America, which honestly, you know how I feel about this country. I mean, I think that it's the last bit of freedom in this world, and the last bit of freedom of religion and everything else. I'm talking about everything, and as a whole. You already know how I feel about that. I've already put it in a bunch of my movies, or a bunch of my films here. But even if that does happen, that world's much, much better. That nation is much, much better. That world is much, much better. I have not seen nor ear heard the things prepared for them that love Him. It's quite simple. Falling in love with the Creator, falling in love with His creation. So, what are some things that you and I can do to have peace? I mean, I went out, took a little time, had some time. We're not working many days at work right now. So I took some time and I went out into the desert, countryside. Get out by yourself. Get away from that TV. Much as I love entertainment, I mean, I love the entertainment business. I mean, I'm doing entertainment right now on YouTube. But as much as I love all that stuff, for God's sakes, you got to be your own person and find out what's in your soul. Oh my God, I'm gonna depend on this person. Oh my God, I'm gonna listen to this prophet, so to speak, from the news media. Oh my God, I'm gonna listen to this. Oh my God, I'm gonna listen to that. Listen to some things, but on the flip side, you got to discern and look inside your soul and find out. Hey, if this is coming up to the end of the world, like that one Hollywood spoof, which you should watch it tonight. This is the end. I mean, it's very, very funny, but I thought there's some definite truths in there, especially a translation that happens. Hollywood put it right in there. It was amazing. This is the end. Go home and watch it. And there's a lot of things to study out and see what's going on, and that people can be peaceful, just peaceful. You don't need to fret about things. And part of that is what you're putting into your mind and how you think. If you're not thinking positive thoughts, then you need to figure out why you're not thinking those positive thoughts. Get rid of the thing that's putting those negative thoughts into your mind, and get something that's positive into your soul and into your mind. I realize there's a lot of lockdowns on things, but there's places where you can get out and do some physical activity and get away and break away and start writing a book, for God's sakes. Start writing a movie. Start doing something. And how cool would that be? You write a book. That's something that you can pass on to your kids. You're making a movie. That's something you can pass on to your kids. You're doing something that creatively can do that. One of my good friends, I used to work with her, and she's was always asking me about, what do you think about this in my book? What do you think about that? And so she'd be writing things, and so she'd ask me about that at work or after work, or we'd go out and grab a drink together or something like that. But she had this desire. She wanted to read something. The other day we talked on the phone. She says, "Oh, I've just been really stressed," and I said, "Well, how's that book come along?" She said, "Oddly enough, I just got back to it." She said, I want to kind of put my thoughts together and work on getting it published and get a renewed fervor and stop thinking about all these things here and try and add some value out there in the world. I know it's tough, my friend, but this isn't anything that somebody else has been through before. But the thing that is very strange right now is we got issues with the post office. Everyone wants to blame it on the president. I don't care what you think about the president or whatever. I'm not buying all this stuff. I think that there's something else going on. Even one of the former presidents, Obama, said, hey, there's voter fraud going on with the Republicans and Democrats. He said on national news today. He said, depends on sometimes who's in power, what's going on, you know? And not one person is in power, my friend. There's a lot of different people. That's why we have a democracy. If you're looking at one person, that's pretty sad. That's all I gotta say. Except if you're looking at him, then that's okay. That's the ultimate thing. I mean, he's a king. He's king, kings, Lord of lords, coming back. But this isn't the end of the road. That's my point with this whole thing and this end of the road sign here and all this stuff. And I drove out. It's a really cool drive today. But I'm out here away from everybody and anything. I haven't seen anybody for 2 hours out here. Not one person. It's pretty cool. It's just the wind. Saw a couple birds, a couple hawks. All I'm saying is translate your mind away from what they're telling you to think. You either will think on your own and be your own person and have peace, or else you're going to let them get into your mind and surgically put in things to create fear and problems and issues and things like that. That's how we're going to stay positive. I mean, we could be coming up on World War III. I don't know. You don't know. Armageddon could be happening sooner or later. I still believe he's coming back soon. But all these things, so what? If you don't have peace inside your soul, you got to figure out where to get that peace and tap into it and have peace. And figure out a system to systematically have peace in your heart. Again, we don't always have peace, but again, that's something that we have to just rest and trust. When I get a lot of things going on, I start thinking, I can do this. I'm strong. I'm able. I have God's power. I have the Creator's power inside of me. I know that He's going to take care of me. I know that He's always taking care of me, even at the darkest times in my life. I know I can trust Him through these things. That's what I'm going to do. It's easy. And if you don't have somebody like that you can trust and depend on, my recommendation is do what I'm doing. Say those things positively about yourself. Everything's going to be okay. There's a new day. God's in control. Creator's in control. He didn't make all this stuff and then it's going to let, Joe Schmo or Susie Smith or whatever you want to say blow up the world. Even if it does, He's in control. I mean, everybody thought it was the end of the world with World War I and World War II and all these other things that happened. Anyway, I'm very, very confident, very, very peaceful today. And my peace is in just what I said. Peace I leave with you. I'm going to speak the words over you. And I'm the vessel, just a messenger. Peace I leave with you. Peace I give unto you. And we're not talking about religion. We're talking about the Creator. That's what He wants to give. Go out and look at the stars. Go out and expand your personal dimension to be something other than how you're thinking about this temporal place that we call Earth. They ain't going to live here forever. You and I both know that.